Hi there, I'm Carmen. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to show you today that you can actually start junk journaling with less than $10 of supplies plus your own household trash, basically. So we're going to jump right in and get to it. I'm going to set the household trash aside and talk about what you need to get started first. So I'm using items all purchased from the Dollar Tree, but if you are not in the US and you don't have a Dollar Tree or you live in an area without a Dollar Tree, these items can be purchased very inexpensively, probably from your own discount location. This is a small size, it's 3 fluid ounces of the Aleene's tacky glue. Elmer's craft glue would be fine, an off-brand would be fine. It really doesn't matter, but I do recommend some type of liquid glue that is not overly liquidy because it will be too wet for the paper. So you do want some type of craft glue, but this is only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree as of right now. And then also these are 4 for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. This is a glue stick. These are really handy as well for gluing down your items. I'll show you how to use both types of glue and why you're going to want both. And then also you'll need any type of tape. I'm purposely not showing the brand because it doesn't matter. Just some type of transparent tape. Again, you can get this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. $1.25 pair of scissors, also from the Dollar Tree. And then the Dollar Tree has a huge variety of journals. If you'd like to see a bigger selection than what I'm going to show here, check out my Dollar Tree shopping video where I take you into the Dollar Tree and show you what they have. But I did want to use this one as an example. They have all different types. And yes, this was $1.25 also. I wanted to show you that they actually have the type that have the elastic band. And so if you would like the one without, they have those as well. They have hardback and they have softback journals. Now I'm going to do something that's going to look incredibly crazy, but I'm actually going to cut off this band and I'll show you why. I'm going to show you how to cover this with household trash to give us more personality. You don't have to do this step. You can leave it just like it is, or you can put your own embellishments. If you have stickers already, you can buy stickers at the Dollar Tree as well if you would like to embellish it with that. But I'm actually going to snip this right off and cover this with, again, household trash item. I'm actually going to use Trader Joe's Cornbread Crisps bag. Now I do have a recommendation if you're going to use a bag that food was in of any kind. You could also use a chipboard box. I'll show you one of those later. I have a cracker box over to the side. You could use all kinds of things to cover this. You could even use cloth. You could use anything you want to cover this with. However, if you do use something that actual food touched like this, where there were actually these little chips or whatever they're, you want to call them, crackers, chips in here, I would recommend cleaning this before you use it. A couple of reasons: get the grease residue so it will stick better, but also to keep you from attracting any little bugs. You might live in a different climate than where I live, but where I live, we have a lot of bugs. And so that's always a thought process. The great thing about a junk journal is things do not have to be perfect. So you can see that, I'm going to have this seam here. This isn't going to be centered on the front. It doesn't matter. If it does matter to you, you can look for something big enough that you can center it perfectly, and that's fine. Everyone's different. To me, a junk journal should have some imperfections. It is part of what it is. It's a junk journal. It's a trash journal. It doesn't need to be perfect. So the one thing that we are going to do is I'm just going to fold this. You could cut some of this if you'd like. The only place I'm going to cut is right here once I get finished attaching this. And then also, the one thing you want to be sure that you do is when you attach it, make sure that you close it to make sure you've got extra room for when it's closed, because when it's open, it's going to take up less room than when it's closed. And so you don't want to get it too tight and then not be able to close your journal. The first step here is to tape down the front cover and just get it in position. We are going to add some glue to reinforce this as well, but this is just sort of a rough tape to get it in position, and we can double check that we like how it looks. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a like. That helps other people find the video, so I greatly appreciate it. Also hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new journaling tips. Once you have your tape, you want to flip it over and see if you like how it looks. Like I said, I knew mine's going to be off center. I'm totally fine with that. Still got the fun yellow. If you want to go back later, you could even embellish this area here. For me, that's not an issue. I like how it is. Like I said, I like the sort of roughness of it. And so then we know exactly how the front cover is going to look. Once you're happy with the positioning of the front, this is when you want to add some glue. It doesn't have to be sort of perfectly placed glue. You're just wanting to get a little bit of extra adhesion. This will help your cover stay in place, but we're not looking for a full coat here. This is just a little extra help for the tape. I'm going to give this a good press once you put the glue on. And now we want to go ahead and do the back cover exactly the same. Now we have attached at the front and the back. Now it's time to handle the top of each end. So to do that, we're going to need to cut out this piece right here so that we can fold this in, and you want to do it just slightly at a V angle so that you can easily fold it in from each side. After cutting that out, you want to open the book back up and work on one side at a time by just folding this in. Like I said, you can make a little extra cut here if you would like. If you don't want it to pucker, I don't mind if it puckers on the inside, but if you want that to lay a little flatter, you can definitely do that. You can also fold it in just like you're wrapping a present, really. If you're used to folding the corners, you may need to trim extra right here at this bend because you want this to not affect your first intro page. Each step, make sure you can still close and open the journal. Now you want to repeat that same process. You may need to do a little extra trimming here and there, and that's totally fine. But again, it's just like wrapping a present. If you wrap presents, if you don't wrap presents, it's just a matter of folding each corner in. That's all you're doing. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the back side. Again, just keep testing that you can smoothly close your journal. Finishing up the final back page, and we'll take a look at how it looks to get that done. Here we go, complete cover, and that only took maybe 10 minutes or less, even with extra trimming and everything. Very easy process to do. And like I said, you can use anything for this, really. You could use cloth. Actually, even Dollar Tree sells contact paper. It's already sticky. You could use that as well. All types of options. Now we've got the front and the back covered. You could leave your inside covers looking just like they do now. Nothing wrong with that. I'm actually going to create a cover and show you how to do this to cover the inside so that you sort of hide the tape a little. It won't completely hide it, but it gives you also some extra pops of color. I am just using a plain old Kleenex box. Again, you could use any other type of junk or household trash you have. It just needs to be the right size. I want this to be a little bit narrow. This is a tip. You don't want things too close to this middle, otherwise it won't open and shut smoothly, and also it will keep peeling up. So you always want to leave a little bit of a border here. I cut out the two opposite sides in the interest of time. I figured you didn't want to sit there and watch me cut all day. And so obviously these are going to be a little bit too long, so I'm going to measure where I want to make a cut there, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit more off of each one. A little tip is once you get your front cover cut the way you like it, you've already got the pattern, the exact pattern you need for your back cover, and so you can just use that as your pattern to cut by. This is definitely where this crafting glue will come in handy. Again, when you glue heavier items, you definitely want to use a tacky glue like this. When you're attaching lighter items, that's when this glue stick can come in handy. And there's a lot of brands of this. I'm not recommending this specific brand. I'm just using it in this video because you can get 4 of these for $1.25. cannot beat the price. But there's Elmer's glue stick. There's all different types of brands. And also, just a tip, I do have a how to junk journal video on my channel. I will link that in the description below. That just covers it more from a general perspective, and I talk about other supplies that you might want to consider. My recommendation is your very first upgrade. You know, you can, if you already have scissors, just use those. I mean, most households have scissors. If you don't and you want to get these to start, these are the, like I said, the $1.25 scissors, but this would actually be my first upgrade recommendation. More than the glue or anything else, is get a pair of good crafting scissors. Doesn't have to be a special brand. I will give you a tip. Fiskars are very good. I'm not saying that you have to get that brand or anything, but you can find those sometimes for a pretty affordable price, a little more than the boundaries of this video of keeping it, you know, under $10. Actually, this is actually being done with close to $5 worth of supplies. A little more than that. That's why with tax and everything, I'm saying under $10. But that would be my first recommendation for an upgrade. So if you start junk journaling and you're like, wow, I love this, I want to put a little more money into this, that would be my very first upgrade. I was able to score a pair of Fiskars scissors. I will show you those in this video just so you see what they look like. Crafting scissors, I was able to score those at Ross for about $5. So I'm not talking about a crazy expensive upgrade. I'm talking about a very reasonably priced upgrade. Just like that, you have a back cover and a front cover, and that covers your tape. So now the entire journal is covered and you have the front and the back looking the same. Looks awesome. You can do your intro page and put some personal information, or if lost, return to, or your start and end date. I have a video that covers all the details about how to do an intro page. You can check that out on the channel. I'll link that in the description below. Let's jump right into how to do a junk journal spread using just these supplies that are really affordable, as well as your own trash. You can literally use any household trash that you have. Also, you can treat junk journaling like a scavenger hunt, and when you're out and about, just look for free, used, recycled items that you can put in your junk journal. Or if you're traveling or doing something fun, look for brochures or fun things to commemorate your trip that you can put in your junk journal that are free items. So that there's all different types of ways to junk journal. And so I'm actually going to use only household trash. These are items that we consumed. When I say we, I'm talking about my husband and I, that our family consumed, and that's it. There's nothing else here. And what I like to do for a fun spread is sort of a way to scratch that creative itch is pick a bit of a color theme. You don't have to do this. I'm just throwing out my thought process. So when I picked out this trash for the spread, I'm looking at yellows and purples and a few greens. And I feel like that gives the spread some cohesiveness, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be completely random. It can be every color in the rainbow. It can be anything that you want. What I like to do though is start with the biggest items first. And also don't forget to keep your stickers that are on your food. Those make fun embellishments. You know, people pay for stickers, but stickers come right on our food. And so don't forget to save those as well to use to put on the final product. But what I like to start with is the biggest pieces first. These two are clearly the biggest pieces that I have. So I'm going to break those down a little bit and then we'll start with those. Once I get everything cut down, I kind of like to lay it out and see where I want things to go. And then I'm going to glue this down. All three of these, I'm going to use the crafting glue, the sticky glue or tacky glue for, because this is a heavier weight and this is sort of a slick surface. And so that will hold these better. When you are gluing items, don't worry if the glue squirts out the side. Every crafting glue I've ever used, they dry clear and they will get on your fingers, no big deal. And so you just want to continue gluing until you get everything placed down, and then we're going to add the next layer. It is okay if things are wrinkled. This is a junk journal. I think that's the thing that people get the most hung up on, is things having to be perfect looking. you know, there's nothing wrong with scrapbooking. Scrapbooking is a lot of fun, memory keeping, and you can actually use a journal, a junk journal for memory keeping as well. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, on trips, you can pick things up to junk journal with, but it doesn't need to be perfect. It's okay if things are wrinkled. It's okay if they're not perfect. It's okay. You could just do whatever you want. I think that's the most liberating thing about this. It's even okay if it doesn't lay perfectly flat because it is wrinkled like this. Wrinkles actually add texture, and texture adds interest. You know, it just, again, it depends on your preference. It depends on how you want it to look. But I think that it can be a lot of fun to have a little bit of a diverse nature, both to the materials that you use as well as to the shape. I even like tearing things. The items I'm using so far are not conducive to tearing, but tearing can be a lot of fun. It can be therapeutic as well as give you a nice look. This already looks fun to me. I already love it, but I'm going to show you how to add some essentially free, as long as you grocery shop, which most of us do, embellishments that will add to the display and fill in a little bit of the white space. I'm not afraid of white space. If you don't like white space, what you can do is take something really large and just cover the whole back. Basically give yourself a free background. Good options for that are grocery bags, like a Chipotle takeout bag. I've used those before. I've used the Trader Joe's news flyers. They give you these pretty big size flyers. You can cover the pages with that. I've actually got a video on the channel where I show using that. But again, I like to hold these up, and what's great is these are already sticky. So this is just them thanking us for not using plastic bags here from the grocery store. They just stick this on it. It's basically their way of knowing that you paid for the item since it's not in a bag. So that is awesome, and it sort of fits our little color theme here. This just came off of some type of organic food that we ate. I cannot tell what it is. So it's a mystery food, but it was some type of produce. And so I'm just going to add that right in here, fill in a little of the white space. And what's great is I don't even have to add adhesive to these because they're still sticky. And I just save these until I need them. Got some organic bananas here. I'll put that next to the banana bread protein bar. Goes hand in hand there. And then this one's really sticky. I don't know if you heard me pull it up, but it was really, really sticky. This is a little Chipotle sticker that came on my to-go bag. I'm actually gonna cut this out just a little bit. I think that will look good up here. One recommendation I do have is layering. Layering gives you, you know, some sort of depth and interest in your, because these are essentially collages. People don't call them that, but this is collage art. You are doing art. Don't let anyone tell you different. You are making art. You're making art out of trash, which is a beautiful thing. You are basically upcycling your trash. If you'd like to learn more about junk journaling, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.